After successfully working together to bring down the last tree on the land they were clearing, Thorfinn and Einar were overjoyed and decided to take a well-deserved break. They sat on a log and admired the results of their hard work over the past 3 years. While Einar expressed his desire to own the land they had cleared, Thorfinn reminded him that they were slaves and owning land was a far-fetched idea. They discussed Peter's advice on how to buy their freedom after the harvest season by cultivating the farmland. Thorfinn asked Einar about his future plans once he becomes free and whether he would return to his home country, but Einar was uncertain as he had no remaining family there. Thorfinn guessed correctly that Einar was also concerned about Arnheid's freedom and wished for her happiness. However, they both acknowledged that it would be challenging since Kettle had no intention of releasing Arnheid. Einar diverts the conversation and inquires whether Thorfinn will revisit his homeland, Iceland. Thorfinn answers vaguely, hinting that he may consider going back just once. Einar remarks on the irony of being so close to attaining freedom yet not having any concrete plans for it. Thorfinn cryptically mentions that he has something he wants to do but insists on settling some matters before revealing it. He probes Einar about his thoughts on the possibility of eradicating war and slavery from the world. Einar appears surprised by the question and believes it to be an unrealistic dream. Suddenly, Kettle arrives on horseback with a bored Olmar trailing behind and praises their hard work in clearing the field. Einar assures Kettle that they will have the field planted in time, to which Kettle offers a favor in return. Impressed with their dedication over the years, Kettle announces that he will grant them their freedom once they complete the sowing season. Thorfinn and Einar are stunned by the news and initially appear to be unresponsive. However, they quickly recover and jubilantly celebrate, dancing with each other in merriment. Kettle playfully warns them not to celebrate too soon, cautioning them that their freedom will only be official after he returns from his trip. Einar inquires from Kettle about his plan of going somewhere, and Kettle confirms it before asking them about his father Sverkel's whereabouts. They express their ignorance of his whereabouts, and Kettle assumes he might be working in his fields. After that, Kettle informs them that he will be traveling to Jelling to visit the sick King Harald, but he'll be back before the planting season begins. They wish him a safe journey. Before leaving, Kettle suggests that they think about continuing to work on the farm after gaining their freedom since he would happily welcome dedicated workers like them to work for him. Gunnar wakes Knute up and informs him that they will arrive in Jelling soon. After King Sweyn's death in 1014, his lands were divided between his 2 sons. Harald, the eldest, received Denmark, while England went to Knute, the youngest. The brothers were on good terms, and Harald even helped Knute by sending him a large fleet to aid him in conquering England. However, after Knute claimed the throne of England in 1018, Harald fell ill with no heir in line to succeed him. Gunnar advises Knute to wait inside the cabin instead of standing outside when they arrive at King Harald's base in Jelling in 1018. Knute, who has not been home in years, insists on staying outside to feel the breeze while watching children play. Wolf welcomes Knute back and expresses his pleasure that he returned safely from England. Knute asks about his brother's condition, and Wolf sadly informs him that King Harald is not doing well and that his illness has progressed to the point that he is no longer able to speak. Knute acknowledges that this means Harald's time is limited and that, based on what the caretakers have been saying, he probably only has a few days left. Knute expresses his gratitude to Wolf for being with his brother during his illness. Knute watches as the children play a game and remarks that his older brother, Harald, used to be quite skilled at it and would sometimes play with him. Despite the courtiers' tendency to choose sides when matters of succession arose, Harald never let competition change his feelings towards his family. Knute remembers how Harald had been of great help to him during his subjugation of England, and he admits he owes him a great debt of thanks. As the game continues, one of the children misses the ball, which bounces towards Knute. For a moment, he is shocked as he sees the ball as King Sweyn's severed head. His face betrays his horror, and Wolf notices, asking him if anything is wrong. Knute denies it, but the image of the severed head lingers in his mind. Heading to his brother's bedside, Knute is casually greeted by his younger sister, Astrid. He reminds her to address him as Your Majesty, but she simply laughs and calls him by his first name. She tells Harald that Knute has come to see him, but Knute asks her not to force Harald to wake, as he'll be in Jelling for a while and can speak to him once he's in better shape. Harald eventually wakes up and weakly utters Knute's name, raising his hand to hold his brother's. Knute tells him there's no need to worry about the kingdom, and that he will take care of everything. As Astrid cries, Harald tells Knute that he's been waiting for him and that he's leaving him Denmark. Knute tells him not to speak as though his death is certain, as Harald's health will recover, and they will once again be able to play as they did when they were children. Knute feels a chill run down his spine as he hears the voice of his deceased father, King Sweyn. He blinks and rubs his eyes, but the vision of Harald's head transforming into Sweyn's does not go away. Sweyn tells Knute that he has grown into a cunning liar, capable of offering deathbed platitudes to the very man he has poisoned. He accuses Knute of betraying Harald's trust and loyalty and asks him what he hopes to gain from his actions. Astrid, who is standing beside Knute, notices the strange expression on his face and asks him if he's feeling unwell. Knute ignores her and listens intently to his father's accusations. Sweyn goes on to tell Knute that Harald was always kind to him and that they could have worked together to make Knute the ruler of the world. Sweyn believes that Harald's death was not for the sake of Knute's dream of creating a utopia but for his own selfish ambition to become the ruler of the North Sea. Knute tries to shake off the hallucination, but Sweyn's voice continues to echo in his head. Sweyn reminds him that the crown is a curse from which there is no escape. In fact, Sweyn claims that since Knute has 2 crowns, he'll suffer twice as much as he did. As Astrid notices Knute's absent-mindedness, she inquires about his health and worries that he may be unwell. Knute, however, dismisses her concerns, attributing his behavior to a brief dizzy spell. Wolf, a courtier, then suggests that a chamber be prepared for the weary king. In his quarters, Knute closely examines the crown, deep in thought. Soon after, a servant knocks on his door, offering him a drink as instructed by Astrid. Knute inquires about the origin of the beverage, but the servant has no answer. Suspicious, Knute declines the drink, stating that he is not thirsty. Suddenly, Knute notices King Sweyn's severed head on the floor, staring intently at him. The head accuses Knute of being a master of poisoning, making him fear any beverage that he hasn't personally vetted. King Sweyn then goes on to mock Knute, suggesting that he is close to the peak of the curse that comes with wearing the crown. Knute, momentarily shaken, chides King Sweyn for appearing to him in broad daylight, as he almost spoke to him aloud, revealing his innermost thoughts. As Knute and King Sweyn continue to converse, the servant who brought the drinks listens at the door, wondering if Knute is talking to himself. Knute eventually dismisses the servant, telling her that he doesn't need her and that she can leave. Knute spoke to King Sweyn, explaining to him that his vision of a perfect world could only be achieved by uniting the land, which was impossible with 2 kings. King Sweyn acknowledged Knute's statement and told him that if he believes that his goals justify his actions, then he is starting to think like a true king. This made Knute burst into laughter, and King Sweyn asked him why he was laughing. Knute revealed that he used to hate King Sweyn and wished him dead, but now he could speak freely with him. Putting on the crown, Knute suggested that they should be friends as they both bear the curse of the crown. And this brings the episode to an end. Comment for episode 11, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.